So here we are with episode 4 of the Vexations of a Shut-In Vampire Princess. I wonder if episode 4 is going to conclude the first arc, and we're gonna head on to the next arc just because I'm thinking about the poster, and we still haven't seen all these other characters that's on the poster. We haven't seen them yet, and usually episode 3 or episode 4 tend to designate the end of the first volume, albeit that's typically for the manga. I don't know how they would be able to do it for the light novel, but we'll just have to see how it goes. If you guys like the video, like the video. If you dislike it, dislike it. I do have my full length up on Patreon and early access to non-seasonal and some seasonal shows on the YouTube memberships. Other than that, let us get started. Is that what blood sounds like when it's just dripping? Also, there was like the red line on her. No need to pay attention to that guy on the floor though. How much pain do I experience? Well, what about her? What? Hoo-hoo! Alright, we getting flashback to that? Political family. Society. Heavenly paradise. Psych, bitch! Yeah, you thought I was here to play nice? Get dunked on. A child who gets bullied at home will bully other people when they're not in their house. What are humans anyways? If y'all are vampires. Oh my god. I'll write that later. For core implosion. Just by fucking beating you? Ritual article. Strain your mind by continuously undo. Wow, holy shit. Gandis blood. Mm-hmm. Of course, of course. Oh, Pandora poison. What happens today? Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, how dare you fucking tell me the truth? And then this is the first time she meets with, why can't I remember her name? Komari. Your enemy, your rival. There is no... There isn't no good. What a fucking... What a fucking cold blood... Man's just out here teaching her how to murder. Poor girl. She pities her. I'm trying to fucking bully you over here, and you're fucking pitying me? Investigated her person. Damn, really researched her, huh? So she wants to make her break? Oh, there's a break in your memory. Wow, who would have thunk? Falsely accused? And then you got picked up by the Whatever that inverse moon. Yeah, you. It was all your fault. You, the person I picked a fight with. Oh my god. She's a foil? She's your foil. I can't believe it. She didn't even realize. I love it. You'll be fine. Oh, get out of here. But I was the one. Doesn't matter, she's here to save you. Ooh! Very grand and epic music, I love it. It gotta take him out first, right? Doesn't want him to see. But that is very funny. The fact that you want to make her suffer is going to be your end game. That's very silly villains. Always trying to fucking play cat and mouse with the hero. You're not 10 billion. Ah! Damn, how she slipped out of that like a slippery eel, dude. What a scream though when she was yelling her name. What a performance though, Millicent. Goddamn. It just sounds like the way the blood drips and the way it sounds. It does not sound like she's bleeding. It just sounds like something else. You know? Like she really need to go number one. God, blood really spurting. Okay, this sound effect of the blood is just... But you came here anyway, you're brave. And yet here you are, huh? For the people. Oh no! Oh no, the power of friendship, Millicent! Damn. So Yo, Yo, the way they just transitioned music to this. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so shounen. Huh? Well, at least she had her body to fucking block you for a bit, you know? Is this like shadow for her boobs? Is that why there's... Strongest kindness. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Mercy of the Lonely Crimson. Oh shit! Her magical ability suddenly went up. Ah! Ah! That's why she... You're miserable, aren't you? Damn! Y'all are like the same age. What are you calling her a brat for? Whole gang came. Oh, they get to witness her power in full, huh? She just backhanded you. Hey, yo! Get that shit out of here. She's got her old hype man now. Oh, so weren't you doing that before? Inner spirit for core explosion. Oh my god. Oh my god, it all finally clicks. Jesus Christ. Was she just in a fucking patient gown? Oh, she remembers? Oh, well, she remembered the part where she got blasted. She was 3. Oh, that's the dad? Hmm. Ah. Jesus Christ. We can't have you have any more blood. At least take something valuable. Oh, how cute. Close. It's close to one. Oh, what? The 2 important thing to her? Her mother's pendant and her letter that she's got from Villhaze. It's a good episode. I really like that. Very shounen. Very shounen. I get beaten down, but I keep coming back up because for the people that I care about. Millicent towards the end. Oh my god, I have no friends. This is why I'm weak. The whole entourage of hype men coming into the abandoned church. Yeah, let's go, Komari. So funny, dude. So funny. But as I mentioned in the last episode, right? I love the way that they play it so... What is that? I love that they play it so seriously. This by having these, like, elements that's, like, very silly. I mean, that's the whole case of shounen, right? They make it so serious, but in the end, it's like, when you think about it, oh, it's just the power of friendship or something. It's funny. But we got the full story now, so that's fun. Oh, this is preview. No need for that, so... Well, I'm gonna go write my notes, and we will be right back to the center. Alright, so that was episode 4 of the Vexation of a the Vexations of a shut-in vampire princess? I'm saying that with such confidence. Yeah, the Vexations of a shut-in vampire princess. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that's, well, I think I said it. I thought this was a pretty good episode. It certainly is a pretty good ending to the first arc, right? We're going to be heading off to the second arc, so that'll be interesting to see what's going to happen from here. And, well, I only really have 2 points to talk about in terms of characters, right? The first is going to be about Millicent, and then the second is going to be about Komari herself. We've got basically the full story on everybody for the most part, I believe. I think this is the full story. Unless somebody who's reading the light novel will just come in and be like, no, this is not it. Which, you know, whatever. I'm just going to pretend that those comments don't exist. Just like that one comment from last episode that was telling me, like, just when you get to see Millicent's backstory, you're gonna feel really bad for her. And I'm just like, cool. I kind of already expect that, you know? I'm just like, look, a person who is like this, they have to have some sort of tragic backstory, or they were just born that way, right? It's usually the only 2 possible explanation. Anyways, ranting aside from light novel readers who comments, Millicent. So we got immediately into the backstory between Millicent and her father, right? The Blue Knight family. As her father says, the Blue Knights are a political family. And with what I was talking about in, like, the last episode, and just, you know, the idea of this society, this vampire society, that the strong is... they're able to do whatever the fuck they want, right? The strong steps on the weak, and that's just how it is. Survival of the fittest. And Millicent's father is just out here drilling that right into her head. He tells her to be stronger than anyone else. And so he decides that he's going to give her this trainer. His name is Kakume Amatsu from the Heavenly Paradise, which I would, just from the way that his name is, right, very Japanese, I would assume the Heavenly Paradise is like Japan-ish, or, you know, some sort of Asian-like country. I mean, you can just see it from the way that he looks and from the way that he dresses. But anyways, yeah, her dad puts a trainer on her just so he can literally beat her to death. Close to death, I mean. Beat her close to death in hopes that she gains the core implosion. And this is when we start to learn about the... Oh yeah, also... this part right here, where the guy, Amatsu, he reaches out his hands to her, right, as a gesture of politeness, right, of some sort of respect, like, we're gonna do a little handshake before I beat the shit out of you. And we can see the way that Millicent is before her big change. That even though she's a little nervous, right, she's still showing him some sort of modesty. She's going to freaking give a handshake, and he's just like, yeah, psych, bitch. I'm gonna flip you on your back. Get good, daughter. Like, shit. Like, that's literally her first lesson, which is, don't fucking show your weakness, right? Don't ever fucking show your weakness, which in this case, like, don't ever show... even some crumb of modesty. Fuck that shit. You reaching your hand out to somebody, that's you telling the other person that you're fucking weak. So don't fucking do it. Here we see the fucking trainer, Amatsu, just beating the shit out of her as he goes and he explains what is core implosion. And he says that, you know, it's an ability beyond that of humans, which I'm just kind of like, what is... humans? Are vampires human? Is Amatsu a human? Since, see, from like the first episode when we see like actual, quote unquote, actual war, It had just been vampires who looks humanoid, but you know, vampires aren't particularly humans, but you know, whatever. And all the other people that we've seen are just, I don't know why I keep wanting to say furries, but they are not furries. They are, they're not people in suits. They are actual animals, right? Animorphs? No, not animorphs. Humanoid animals. I currently cannot remember the name of it. Yeah, like everybody else, they very much look like animals, right? They're like wolves and like gorillas and stuff. And the only sort of human-like people are the vampires. But then here we are introduced to Amatsu from the Heavenly Paradise. And he, I would assume, is not a vampire? Maybe he's a human, so perhaps this is, you know, a person who is a human. Who knows? Who knows? Anyways, minus that aside, we're continuing on with the explanation of core implosion, and that it's a special ability unbound by every possible law of this world. Well, what is this, a Deus Ex Machina? Oh no, somebody has a core implosion that can revive the dead, the actual dead people, right? The genuine death. The genuine dead people. Oh no, it's unbound by the possible law of this world. Anyways, once it's invoked, it's said to have a power to pierce the earth and move the stars. Right, just to showcase how powerful the idea is. And as Amatsu goes, it's extremely low for people to have core implosion innately, right? To be able to have that when they were born or whatever. Extremely low. But from research, with special training, and by that, it's just special beating, it may also manifest as an acquired behavior. Which, the way that he says acquired behavior, I'm just like, oh, so you're basically saying that I'm going to, and also as he says, for some reason, this method of beating you close to death really works. And it's like, okay, so you're telling me that you're literally gonna beat someone close to death, and like the only way for them to gain it is by having this core implosion as some sort of self-defense mechanism, right? Like, holy shit, I'm about to fucking die. I need to do whatever I can. Which, you know, he says that this is research. I like the papers to these research, you know, I want to see the people who actually has core implosion from these special research, and not just from, you know, having an innate ability. And also consider that they talk about core implosion, I would assume that we are going to see more people who has core implosion. Who knows? I mean, we've at this point, we've just been introduced to two people. The, you know, the two main characters. Whoa, who would have thunk? I do want to go through this scene just a bit, just because I want to see the dialogue again. So the likelihood that people will innately possess this power is extremely low. She's over here all sad, you know, her eyes all quivering and stuff. However, if you undergo special training, it may also manifest as an acquired behavior, as it has come to light during our research. Yeah, so what's the special training? Developing a spirit that is undeterred by adversity. For some reason or another, it seems that there is a deep connection to the inner spirit for core implosion. Okay, and then that's what Millicent kind of comes to realize. And the quickest way to train your mind is by beating you to death. Yeah, to threaten your life, right? Hey, this thing that I've got on, it's a ritual article, so good luck trying to heal. Dummy. So after getting beaten up for a month, Millicent does not have core implosion. Right? Millicent's dad is like, what the fuck, bro? Why do you not invoke core implosion? I've hired this man to beat you for 1 month and nothing's happening. At some point, you know, I like to think that Amatsu is just a fucking sadistic asshole who just lied to his father, to her father, about like, yeah, this is research, and we've totally have like results from this research that other people have invoked core implosion after I fucking beat them to death. Right? He's just a fucking a snake's oil. It's an oil snakes, an oil snake oil. He sells oil of snake. All right. Anyways, yeah, he's just a giant fucking liar who's just been very convincing just because he wants to beat people up. I mean, there's this other idea But I'll talk about it once we get to this point. But yeah, her dad, super pissed. Like, yo, dog, why are you such a fucking failure? Why do you suck so much, daughter? As I mentioned, right, the Blue Knights are a political family, and he's out here trying to rival with the Gandes blood, and we know that the Gandes blood is this big family, consists of a lot of high, like, imperial generals and stuff, and so he's trying to compete with them, and he's just like, we're gonna be a joke to these people, and he just goes and he says to his daughter, compared to the daughter of Gandes blood, you are a failure. And it's just like, well, you know, shit. We can kind of see that's one of the reasons why Millicent holds such an ire towards Komari. And I'll talk a little bit more about the whole society stuff in a bit, but as we continue on with the backstory of Villhaze, sorry, not Villhaze, Millicent. Millicent hears that Villhaze has core implosion, and what we've learned here is that Villhaze has, her core implosion allows her to see the future of whoever sucks her blood, and it's called Pandora Poison. The way that she kind of says it kind of confuses me a little bit, but yeah, she, you know, lets me see this future, since it will be what happens today. It's 100% accurate, which I would assume that she'll be able to see the future, like, a little bit further on, but because it's further away from the present, it's going to be less accurate, but because it's like, oh yeah, this is what's going to happen today, it's 100% accurate. I was a little confused by that, but I assume that's what she means, right? Which also kind of goes into the idea of, well, if this is a future that's further out, right, there's the possibility that the future can change. It's not like, I forgot what his name is. He's like a Greek god or something. For him, hold on. You know what? Let me go actually search up. Apollo, that's his name. It's the idea of, if Apollo tells you the future, then the future is pretty much set. Like, you can't escape from that future. So, I was thinking, like, maybe that's not the possibility, just because she says there's, like, an accuracy rate. Right? It's like, once I tell you your destiny, you can't fucking escape it. But here, in this case, I would assume, you know, especially if she goes further out into the future, if she tells somebody's future, it's going to be a little bit less accurate, because there's the possibility of many changes, right? Many element changes that could affect the future, right? The butterfly effect and all that, something that's very minimal could affect this future and change it altogether. I would assume that's the case, and not getting too far out into that, Villhaze tells Millicent's future, and she's like, yeah, you're a person with some unfortunate circumstances, right? So Villhaze just, yeah, you're someone in unfortunate circumstances. And Millicent just does not like that. She's just like, how fucking dare you tell me that I am an unfortunate person? And so she goes and she beats up Villhaze, and this is the part where she meets Komari for the first time ever. And interesting that we see, I mean, we see the bullies are, like, a little nervous, you know, because it's the stances of the Gandes blood family. And, you know, you can see the way that she looks. Very different from the way that she is now, but understandable, right? She, as what Komari says later on, she has the trauma from 3 years ago, and that's why she became a shounen and such. Millicent sees her rival for the first time, the girl that her dad compared her to, and then proceeded to call her a failure, her as in Millicent. So, the ire. And also, right here, in this part, where her trainer is like, yeah, you have no talent for invoking core implosion, but, like, just saying, it doesn't mean that there isn't no good in ya. And so she's like, what should I do? He's just like, yeah, act on your accord. Yeah, love what you hold dear and kill what you despise. This fucker out here is like, first of all, he's beating the fuck out of her every single day. And then he goes and he tells her, like, yeah, just, you know, just love what you hold dear and kill what you despise. This is how your society is shaped around, right? And, well, I wrote my notes. I just said, Amatsu's out here telling Millicent to be a murderous asshole. And it's just like, right? It's the idea of a kid's mind is they're very malleable, and if kids they aren't born bad. It's just how society shapes them. It's how their family shapes them, and you can see that the way that her dad is, the way that she gets trained by this guy, this fella, it's understandable why she comes out the way that she is. And Amatsu, well, what I was thinking with Amatsu, I'm just like, why does this guy sounds like he would definitely be in with the inverse moon as well? I mean, he uses a ritual article, and just the way that he talks, the way that he was basically molding Millicent to be the way that she is, I don't know. I mean, it just so happens that, like, after the pendant incident, Millicent's family gets banished, and she just ends up in the lap of the inverse moon. It's like, wow, what a coincidence. Who would have thunk? But hey, that's just a theory. Sorry, I was watching the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Fucking Matt Pat. But yeah, Millicent's out here is like, my life completely changed on that day because of you, right? Your family falsely charged my family with treason, and we were banished from this stinking country, which I would assume, you know, her, Komari's dad was covering it up for her. And it kind of clicked for me why in episode 2, I believe, when, what is that fucking guy's name? Castell was like, this girl hold on, let's see. It was reported by Millicent, but then he says, that's weird because she had nothing to do with this. And I was very confused about that report. I was just like, what does that even mean? But, I believe when he says, like, oh, Millicent had nothing to do with it, somewhere around there, right? It must be part of the cover-up. Because, like, oh, well, Komari was, reported by Millicent. And also, Castell kind of got this thing out of from somewhere. I don't know, he fucking took it somehow, and that's why he was, because he's just like, yeah, this was a big cover-up and all that. So understandable that the Gande's blood family accused the Blue Knights and just drove them out because they don't want people to know that it was Komari who did this, and especially they don't want people to know about Komari's core implosion. And so here in this part you can kind of see that pretty much the society has won. The society, right? The system in the society has won because Millicent, instead of coming to the realization that my family was kind of shit, right? The system is kind of shit. Instead of thinking about that, she's too busy thinking about Komari instead. As she says, like, I've lived a really horrible life after all these 3 years, and the only thing that's in my heart is vengeance towards you, towards Komari. And it's like, well, that's not the issue, right? Komari is not the issue, but Millicent is so ingrained in the system that she can't get out of it, and the only way for her, she can't punch up, and so she's trying to punch down. Albeit, in this case, Komari isn't exactly a punch down sort of feel, but to Millicent, it feels like she's punching down instead of punching up. It's an unfortunate thing, and I do like that we got to see Millicent's backstory and, you know, the way that she was shaped into this villain. Very nice. And again, it just goes to show that when it comes to this whole thing, like, the system is winning when these people who are not low in the system, again, like Komari, but like from the way that she feels, right? She's probably low in the system when she really isn't, but just from the way that she feels and from the way that Millicent feels, right? People who are like in the system and like they're fighting against each other instead of realizing that this system that they have needs to change. And it kind of goes like that in the real world, where it's a very difficult thing for people to be able to gather some sort of sympathy towards other people just because they feel like they've suffered already. And so that's just how the system is, right? The system is suffering, and you have no rights to complain because I've suffered as well. So you have to go through what I've suffered. And going away from real life, right? I could put it on to something like RuneScape, for example, right? Players of RuneScape, especially veterans, they probably see new players and be like, yeah, you think that this whole grinding shit, this whole fucking system of RuneScape, oh, you think that it's bad? No, it's not bad. I mean, look at me. I'm like max level or whatever, and I've suffered through the whole thing, and so that means that you have to suffer through this as well, right? It's that idea. Applying it to games, I feel, would allow people to see it a whole lot better. It's that whole feeling of like maybe you're playing an MMORPG or something, and you have suffered grinding through this system of the game for a very long time, and then suddenly the game makes this big patch, makes this big update that makes the game a lot easier for beginners. So then it be easier to get newer players to come in and have a much better time. But the people who have played this game for a very long time, have gone through the suffering, they might feel a little upset because like, whoa, I suffered through the beginning, throughout this whole thing, and now you're just going to make it a fucking cakewalk for these new these new players? Fuck them, right? This is fucking bullshit. It's kind of like that ideal. And even more in like a weird general sense, you could like you paid for a game, right? $40, $60 or whatever. You paid for that game, you play through it, but then you see that the game is now free for everyone, or even like the game is like $5 now. You're just kind of like, well, that's fucking bullshit. I paid $60 for this game, and now somebody else can come and play this game for free, or somebody else can come and just pay $5 for this game when I paid $60? That's fucking bullshit. It's kind of like that, right? I suffered, so you have to suffer too. And it's like, and albeit, I'm just talking about like the way that you're feeling with the whole game system, right? But like, I'm not saying that the game is it's gaming you or anything. But it's the idea of if I suffer, you have to suffer through. Did I say suffer through? Anyways, moving away from Millicent for a bit, we get Komari, who has listened to this whole entire thing, and the first thing she's come to a realization is, I see, she's just like me. She's the foil to my character. Right? She's just like me, a lost soul who can't live honestly now because my sense can't live honestly now because she can't escape the trauma from 3 years ago. And it's interesting, well, not interesting, but it's understandable that despite this whole this torture that Millicent has brought Komari through, Komari can't help but to relate to Millicent. Right? She doesn't hold this ire that Millicent has towards her, right? She can't come to hate Millicent because she understands the way that Millicent is. She's able to empathize with her. And here in this part, we see the difference between Komari and Millicent despite their similar trauma. Which, Millicent, again, with what I was saying, like, Millicent's just out here like, this is all your fault, and I'm just like, well, I mean, you're also the person who did research on her, just to figure out which part really fucking hurts her, and that's why she decided to go for a pendant and such, but, with this stuff that's happening, Komari finds that she blames herself, right? She looks inward. She blames inward, which the only thing inward is herself, while Millicent blames outward. And, I mean, it's an understandable thing because that's what she learns from her father and from her trainer. Her father, instead of coming to the realization that maybe he fucked up, maybe this isn't what his daughter wants. Instead, he blames it on his daughter for being a failure, because it's definitely not his failure, right? It's not him. Definitely didn't hire a quack trainer, that's for sure. She blames outward. She's unable to look on the inside. As Komari was thinking about that, we get to see, what is his name again? It's been like a week and I just can't remember. Yohanne, that's his name. Yohanne comes up, he's like, you gotta get away from this. And Komari, being the nice girl that she is, I'm here to save you, Yohanne. And as I was wondering, like, that maybe this is what Yohanne is going to, maybe he gains some sort of respect for her, but then, because like the idea of respect, like, hey, I'm here to save you, I don't care if you betrayed me, I'm going to be here to save you. And that would at least get some sort of respect from Yohanne. But then she goes and she fucking tosses an explosion at him. She's just like, yeah, once you're dead, you can just revive and you'll be better again. Fucking got him. Which I love it, dude. It's in the middle of this serious situation. We just have the gag of Komari killing Yohanne. So I guess we are going to perpetuate it, Maybe Yohanne's gonna wake up and he's just like, that fucking bitch! She fucking killed me, what the hell? Or, he'll gain some sort of respect. Who knows? We'll just have to see in the next episode or two. Who knows if we see him again anyways. And then in this next scene, we see the typical cat playing with its food. The cat being the villain and the food being the hero. If the villains were actually somewhat competent, the hero literally wouldn't fucking survive. Like, yo, dog, you've got the upper hand for, like, the next 5 minutes, the next 5-10 minutes. Just use it and just kill him. But no, she doesn't. Instead, she plays with her food, and she unfortunately ramps up Komari's need to protect the people that she cares about, right? The power of friendship, or the power of Yuri in this case, huh? And then we see some very shounen stuff, maybe even like shounen jump stuff, where Komari, despite the fear, she steps forward. Despite her being weak, she has to do it for the people she cares about. And then the music, oh my god. Dude, the whole fucking music selection during this whole episode fucking slaps, and I felt it was very fitting for the for the situation. So I really enjoyed the music that, we've kind of heard some of the music, I feel, that was showcased in the previous episodes as well, but I thought that they were well placed in this episode. Very nice. I very much enjoy it. But, I said this back in Stardust Telepath, where it's the idea of being brave. The difference between being brave and being an idiot? Being stupid, right? There's a fine line between bravery and stupidity. And that fine line is the ability to feel fear or not. And here's Komari, despite this fear, despite her being afraid, and despite her wanting to get away this whole time, right? She just wanted to stay in her bed and be the way that she was for the past 3 years. But instead, she steps forward, and that makes her brave. If she had no fear, and she just fucking does it because she has no fear, she doesn't care about it, that's just plain stupidity. Anyways, cat and mouse game goes through the entire thing, and I'm just over here like, you're telling me that Komari's been able to use some sort of magic stone stuff this whole time? I can't believe it. I can't believe it, man. Anyways, she gets bumped, and I suppose Villhaze woken up, after the bump and all that, and she goes and she talks about, like, you look worried because you're the strongest, kindest person in the world. And holy shit, she just rips her hand out. Ooh, I don't want to see that. I just skipped right through it. And so Villhaze, knowing what activates her core implosion, gives her the blood, but also at the same time activates her core implosion. And she's able to see the future, and the future is Komari just looking out in like a grassy field, or like a field of golden grass, just her staring off into the distance. Wow, what a good future. But hey, this future doesn't have Villhaze in here. What's going on here? Ooh, why, Ayana? Yeah, she sees the future. She's just like, yeah, you're not gonna lose. And so we get to see what the queen says is the mercy of the lonely crimson, a supreme core implosion. And the queen is just over here like, well, let us see it for ourselves, right? This core implosion of yours. And I'm just over here like, holy shit, dude. She knows about this, obviously, because she has mentioned it before, right? Hey, don't fall into despair like what she did 3 years ago. You've got friends now. So she says the name of the core implosion, And so I'm just worried, like, so, like, she was just over here just casually offering Komari blood, which could also be, like, her own little test to see if the hypnotize, the hypno is still working or not. You know, she's just like, hey, you want some 100 blood juice? She just launches a fucking nuke in here by accident. The queen. Whoops. But we hear from the queen that this is a supreme core implosion unparalleled in the 1,000-year history of the empire. Right? This is one of the strongest core implosion. It's very big, and I do enjoy that it kind of fits with what Komari says. As we can kind of see everything that was said in like the first 3-ish episode. Despite it kind of sounds like all just excuses and stuff, in the end, it is pretty much fucking true, and I love that, right? With Komari saying like, I'm a beauty that you won't see in the next 10 million years, somewhere around there, or 100 million years, somewhere around there. And so that kind of plays in with the fact that she has a supreme core implosion, and it's unparalleled in the 1,000-year history of the empire, which the empire is only here for 1,000 years? Jesus. So we got Komari going beast mode, as the kids would say, and she just fucks up Millicent. And then her whole fucking hype man comes in. And they all get to witness the power of Komari and this whole hyping up that Komari does, that she has no confidence in, because she's just, oh shit, I don't want to get killed by these people. I don't want to, oh my god, I don't want to do that, so I'm gonna hype myself up as this person who has killed 100 people with my own fucking pinky finger. And so now here she is, showing her true ability to all of her soldiers, right, her minions, her subordinates. And this is going to get their respect even more, because, wow, not only has she, what she says is actually true, right? They get to see it firsthand. They get to see it with their own eyes, and that's like, whoa, that's pretty fucking sick, right? That's going to make them be like, I'm going to devote my loyalty even more to you. You are super fucking strong. This is a good shit. Whole hype man comes, and it's so funny. So funny, as I said, during the ending. The whole gang comes in here, and I keep wanting to say Villhaze. They both have bluish hair. Millicent, she'd be like, well, shit. I have no friends. I have no hype man. She's got a whole hype man behind her, fucking hyping her up. And she's over here beating my ass. And here, in this part, she comes to realize what her trainer has told her, right? It seems that there is a deep connection to the inner spirit for core implosion. And then we have Komari, who says, I have to do my best for those who cares about me. And she's just like, so that's what it is. The power of friendship. Damn, I'm beat. So Millicent says, I am weak, right? I am weak. Weak. I am the one who is weak. There you go. It is me. If I had chosen another way, I also may have had a different future. Which, in its case, I wrote this wrongly, but you know what? Still accurate. Well, I wrote in the notes that Millicent realized that if she had a better support system, she'd be different. I mean, that could be said for a lot of bullies, a lot of kids who grow up into, end up into like a life of crime or something. If they had a better support system, it comes from their family, comes from their friends, come from even the system having to support her, she would end up very fucking different. And it's an unfortunate thing, right? For someone like Millicent, and especially towards the end of this, she's come to realize, and of course, she actually didn't die, right? She wasn't killed with a ritual article or anything, she just had her fucking neck popped! Oh my god! But she's arrested, and, hopefully, she comes to think about her life, and not try to be vengeful towards Komari, but we'll just have to see how that goes, right? Or maybe the inverse, since she's a part of the inverse moon and all that, you know, that maybe they'll just fucking come and kill her, give her some genuine death in order to silence her if she ever decides to switch team and such. Who knows, right? Who knows? Death is still very imminent for Millicent. But towards the end, Komari does not remember about her core implosion. She doesn't remember the other 2 times of her core implosion, so of course. And, well, with her dad telling Villhaze, like, hey, if she doesn't remember, don't fucking tell her. You know, it's better for her to live in fear. And it's totally good for her to do that. But he did say, right? Yo, so the first time it happened, Komari was sitting at dinner, having her first taste of blood, and killed all of us there in the place. When you're just having dinner and you just explode. You'll wipe out your whole family. And so they had to hypnotize her to hate blood so she doesn't drink blood, because they don't want this to happen. She's literally a walking nuke at this point. Oh yeah, he says, I don't want her to suffer. That's what her dad says. So that's why he hypnotized her. And so, like, just don't tell her about the core implosion. Anyways, Mole Knight Empire. Mole Knight Empire. What is the empire of this one called? Is it Mole Knight Empire? I don't know. I have not written anything about episode 1, so, you know, whatever. Somebody can tell me if Mole Knight Empire is the empire that they're here, and then I'll just make sure to write it in my notes so I remember. Anyways, yeah, so we've got Komari, who's just like, yo, the incident from 3 years ago has been settled, so, like, you gonna leave? And Villhaze puts up her crocodile tears, which is none at all. But, you know, she's like, I can't believe you're trying to kick me out and such. And, you know, we've got this cute scene. Oh, sorry, there are tears for her crocodile tears. But we've got Komari, who tells her, like, hey, stay with me forever, right? Or be by my side. You're my mate from now on. I'm looking towards, wait, hold on. So stay by my side forever. Yeah, stay by my side forever. I'm looking towards, well, future. Villhaze just over here like, is this a proposal? Anyways, that was a cute scene. I enjoyed that. You know, there's just some weird feelings that I do enjoy about their relationship, so it would just be interesting to see how it blossoms. I do like their relationship just a little bit more now that we've got the whole flashbacks, and, you know, we've got the mail that comes, the mail, I was gonna say email for a second there, but, you know, the letter from Villhaze to Komari, and that was what got Komari to come to this place, come to the church and confront Millicent in the first place. But I was thinking, with the constant talk about Komari not being alone anymore, and that she's got friends now who cares about her, or she's got people who care about her, right? She's not alone. She doesn't have to stand and fight this whole shit by herself. And it kind of makes me wonder, because with her dad saying, well, when she was 3, she drank blood, or she ate blood, and then she killed all of us. And it's like, okay, that really just does sound like a weapon of mass destruction that does not fucking care about anybody around her, right? She's just going to wipe everybody out around her, and that's going to be it. And so, is it the idea of, we first of all, we told her to, you know, we hypnotized her to not do this again, just to make sure. But then it's, even the queen comes and she tells her, like, hey, you know, don't fall into despair 3 years ago. You've got people looking out for you. And then here we are in this part where, not in this part, I mean, but in the fight when Villhaze gives her the blood and she goes full Super Saiyan. And, but the only person that she aimed at was Millicent, instead of being like what had happened the first time, or like the second time at the Imperial Academy where she killed like 100 people. Here, she only aimed for one person, and that was because she, in her inner spirit, she's out here fighting to protect the people who care about her. And so it's like, okay, is that how we're essentially training her to do, right? you give her people to care about, for her to make connections with, so then when you do need her, and you do need her to give, to drink some blood, and she's gonna go Super Saiyan, she's not going to aim for her friends, right? She's only going to aim for the enemy, right? They're essentially training the weapon of mass destruction to lean towards everybody that's not on her side. So it's an interesting thought, right? Because again, this is a different feel from how she was the first 2 times she invoked her core implosion. Because if she was kind of the same way as she was 3 years ago, or like 15 years ago or whatever, when she was 3, she would have killed everybody in that place, right? She would have taken out Villhaze, she would have taken out her hype men, she was taking out Millicent. But here, she only did it towards Millicent, because Millicent was the only thing that was threatening the people that she cared about. So, interesting thought. Good episode. Really enjoyed it. This anime's been on the up and up after, Jesus Christ, after episode 1. That was awful. And I feel like I hold a lot of reservation into kind of fully liking this series, just because some of the things that's going on in the anime. You know what? Towards the end here, not a lot of people come here to watch the ending, so I'll just fucking say it. I have a bit of a pet peeve, and it comes from people who tell me that I take anime a little bit too seriously. And it upsets me, because I feel like I try my best to say the things that I like, even if there might be a little bit of little things, because I feel like when someone gets like really upset at anime or a show or something, they will just only shit on it, and they won't say the things that are good or the things that they like, because they're too busy blindly hating something. And when I don't like something, I'll say it. But if I feel like there are other things that I like, I will say the things that I like as well. And so when I feel like when people say, oh, you take it too seriously, I feel like the only thing they're thinking about are the bad things that I say. And they don't think about all the good things that I say about the series. And it's just, I feel like my opinions, especially the good ones, are invalidated. But also, at the same time, it's the idea of like, well, why do you take anime so seriously? It's just a fake show, you know? And which kind of feels like that would literally be applied with like video games, anything fiction, right? Movies, TV shows. Why do you take it so seriously? It's just a fucking fake shit. And the issue is that, it's like, I feel like if somebody says that, right, it's just a fake show, why do you think so much about it? It feels like it also invalidate the writers. You invalidate the artists, the people who are very real people who write these stuff. And they, whether they do it consciously or unconsciously, they write what they feel when it comes to the society, when it comes to the system, right? Whether they're a part where they realize that they are a cog in this wheel, that is the society, or not, they implement it, right? They are influenced by other media form, and they write it from how they see it. And you can see how the writer here is very much has been influenced by media, especially by other anime type media, about other Japanese type media. And to say that it's all fake and like you shouldn't be thinking too hard about it, it's just, again, a little invalidating, not just me, but invalidating the writers as well, right? Because there are writers who don't just want to write popcorn entertainment. They want to give out a message, and they want to let you know how they think about the world. But like, you know, not try to do it like extremely on the nose or something like that, right? And that's why they write it through characters and such. Some writers, they are a little bit too on the nose, and you kind of feel like this is literally the writer telling you about their stance. And kind of like here in this part, right? It kind of feels like this is what the writer wants to portray. It's the idea of how you are very much molded when you are a child, and that as I was saying, like when you are born, you're not evil or good, you're just a blank state. and whoever paints on your canvas is going to result in how you act for the rest of your life. And again, with like the whole people commenting about like, oh, you take this series too seriously. I did get one for this one in particular, and I felt like, okay, so you're telling me that bullying isn't a serious topic? Anyways, get it. I just had to get that pet peeve out of the way. I'm a little peeved, right? It's a little pet peeve. But that's pretty much my stance on this whole thing. And honestly, this really only comes from like the new people who come into my channel and watch me for the first time. But like, if you watch me throughout like all my other series, I typically have the same stance. Sometimes I realize that there are shows that are only made there for, you know, popcorn entertainment, and I think that's totally fine. But you know, I mean, I like to turn my brain off when I go and watch action movies, just because like there's really nothing. I don't really find any big message in entertainment movies a lot of the times, because it's just big explosions, haha, gunshots, fights, and all that, right? And that's that. I don't really feel like there's a big message, but sometimes I could be surprised when there is a message behind some like action movies and such. I've got lost in my sauce. I've got lost in the sauce, and now I don't know where I am or what I'm doing. What am I talking about? Anyways, all I'm gonna say is that if you have gone through this somehow and you still say that, ooh, I'm taking too seriously about a show that's fake or whatever, just don't say it. Just think about it in your head. Just don't say it, because I'm tired of it. I'm not even gonna argue about it in the comments. If I see somebody says that again, I'm just gonna be like, whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna respond to you. But alright, if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next episode.